to The Witness. Now, first thing is, when I was reviewing the last couple of videos with Far Sandals to catch him up, we think we spotted another audio file. So actually, I think I want to go and find that, so that we can go ahead and listen to it. Let's see, up this way. Where was it? I think it was over this way. Yes, right there. There it is. So let's go listen to that.
It's just the new teapot beeping. It boils fast, but that beep bothers me. Moving on?
So, next I want to raise this problem, which is that I think we don't have enough smart representation from materialist atheists, physicalists, anything in that neighborhood of ideas. And I've been trying to do something about that, but it's hard. The problem is that most coherent atheist screeds are focused on defeating some specific idea of God, or are angry about the historical activities of organized religions, rather than, say, from first principles, making a good case for the impossibility of any concept of God, which would be more like what we're after.
I'm having the same problem. So many justifications of atheism devolve into assertions of the implausibility of Bible stories. Someone like Bertrand Russell, a very advanced thinker, but his commentary on religion all seems to be like Why I Am Not a Christian. Very limited in scope. It is way too small compared to the vision of God and the pieces we're juxtaposing.
Can you repeat that last part? You kind of just dropped out a little bit.
Oh, just that it's a very provincial idea of God that's usually advanced in those arguments. Sometimes even a straw man God. And it doesn't have much in common with the God visualized by Cusa or Spinoza or the great Sufis or even Einstein, whoever. So it just doesn't play on the same field.
When people are explicitly pushing materialism, they're usually philosophers or writers, not physicists, not people who actually do the frontline work of understanding the physical world. With the heavy hitters in physics, it's very hard. It's hard to find good statements that aren't just arguing against straw men. And it's strange because in the modern age, a reasonable portion of working physicists are atheists. Not all by any means, but a reasonable portion. But it's hard to get strong and articulate statements from that sector.
Yeah. I mean, the closest you get is somebody like Feynman, where science gives us a great degree of certainty about certain things. But outside those, it's not a good idea to tell ourselves nice stories and speculate. It's just best to realize we don't know yet about the bigger questions, etc. But we have a lot of Feynman already. Paul Dirac was at least a staunch atheist at one point in his life, but I don't know if he has direct statements on record. Keep an eye out.
Dirac was far from a materialist, though. He believed the universe is made out of math. That's an oversimplification, of course. He even mentioned God a few times in an Einstein kind of way.
Wow, this is all so crazy because among scientifically educated people, it's the cultural default, right? If you're a scientist or a computer programmer kind of person, atheist materialism is supposed to be the basic belief. If you're not a materialist, you're stupid. But if we can't find anyone who makes a good case for it, how does that happen?
Well, it's easy to be convinced of the absurdity of stories in common Christianity, Judaism, whatever. So if that's your picture of spiritual beliefs and you have an aversion to digging too hard into your own worldview, which most of us do, then there you go. Anything that seems religious is goofy Bible stories, and materialism is anti-religious. And It's the general impression that smart people are materialists, and, hey, I want to be smart, so case closed.
Also, there are all these so-called spiritual people who believe basically anything and try to convince everyone.
In addition to goofy Bible stories, did I forget to mention ghost stories, astrologers, spoonbenders, and all kinds of frauds?
It's a ton of noise. It makes it almost impossible for an outsider looking in to see high-quality thought in the world of spirituality. If I can even generalize spirituality to one thing. So it's easy, if you're already leaning toward materialism, to see these flaky spiritual people, extrapolate that to all spiritual people, and say all that stuff is garbage.
That's how it worked for me. For a while.
Okay, but despite all this, there's a large contingent of present-day real scientists who believe in some form of atheist materialism and whose beliefs have been carefully considered. So we need to ensure we respect that viewpoint.
It's
I
so
remember
frustrating.
Sorry.
No, you go.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Carl Sagan has a good piece in Demon Haunted World, where he talks about science as a profound source of spirituality. But he doesn't mean mystical spirituality. He means just pure dedication to truth and the development of a wise perspective on our place in the world. It's nice, and it's a picture of atheism that isn't hostile or contemptuous.
Yeah, I read that, and what you're talking about is a beautiful piece, and I tried to get it, but Sagan's people want too much money.
Can't we just pay more?
No. It would trigger a bunch of most favored nation clauses, and we have to pay everyone a lot more, and we go broke. So, no Sagan for us. It is a shame, since he was such a great thinker, and eloquent, too.
Okay, interesting. Right, so I stopped here because I want to get a proper handle on the, I think, 4 panels that are in this area. So, got one there. And one here. Oh, yeah, using the lights might be a good plan. Yes, they've all got ground lights. Okay. But not all ground lights. That's interesting. Not all ground lights point to Alright, so we've got one there. That's the one closest to the big bridge. We've got one there. One here. And one here. Okay. And then that's from the table, which is here. And that's here with the 3 panels there. All right. The other thing when I was reviewing the previous footage is that I realized that my notes were way too small. Even on our big screen TV, they were fairly small. So I have rewritten them very large. Hopefully that's better. And I guess we will give this another go and see if I can get beyond those 4 panels to see what my next task is. This way. What? Don't miss on that. Wasn't that one that I did? I don't know what I missed because it's going to give me a different puzzle. Okay, that's lit. Over there. Okay, back over there. No, not that way. Okay. Good, so I've got 3 puzzles in here. That's impossible. Okay. That's impossible. Ah, so maybe I only have to do one of those. think I might have to do one of each of... Okay, that helps me understand that, I think. Because that doing two of them were definitely impossible. Because I couldn't separate things. So I guess I have to figure that out quickly. Of course. That's impossible. On the left. Yeah, the checkerboard pattern renders it completely impossible. Why did it do that? Why did it? That's what Okay, and let's all shut that off. Okay. Okay. So, writing that down has actually helped me internalize some things, so I may not need that. Because what I might need is to to map out the bridge. Not the bridge. Map out the path on here. Let me get. So that is a 5x5 grid. Okay. So let's go ahead and draw that. Ready? I'm going to get my pen ready. So, but I also had those triangle puzzles, and I wonder... Oh, are they where the hexagons were on the table? Could be. Right. There. Should be easy. Oh, or not. Goodness, what? Wow. that suddenly become... Oh, going the wrong way. Just that moment of... I'm not actually going to record it this time because I just messed that up so much. Because I'm almost certainly not going to go the right way. Here's the first one. You see it. test it out. What that path meant. Ah! That's it wrong. Fully internalized all these panels yet. Oh, the one I click is blue. That's why I was having so much difficulty. Alright. That makes things... Okay. That's helped me understand that puzzle type. That one's impossible, that one's impossible, so it's got to be this one. No. Almost. Oh, so that gives me a time limit to try each puzzle as well. Okay. So, on the rotational blue and yellow puzzle, which where I start is important. Let's work. It's easier than it looked. Haven't done the triangle puzzles in here. Recessed to make it hard to see. Right. Okay, that's what it is. They are recessed. So you have to know where they are. Yeah, that's cute. So the triangle puzzles in here are recessed so that you can't just see where they are. You have to know where they are. Okay. Do I feel confident enough? Of course I don't. But I'm going to try anyway. I'm going to try this for real. Is there a circle up there that's... wrong way. Goodness. Why can't I see this? There it is. Go to ends. looks like of those panels that actually 2 of them are impossible. And so part of the skill is identifying which 2 are impossible. I think I'm going to give this, given the time, one last try. Oh. Right, that's definitely wrong. That's definitely wrong anyway. Get down. No. Let's copy this one. This I find a little harder to determine. Could be this one. No, that's not the one. What's the path? There's a 3 on the end. Oh, of course, we've got... Oh, great. I wonder if there was one on the other side. I don't know where it was. Ah! Right. So, progress has in fact been made. In that I think I know what I have to do. But, so, yeah, my challenge, I think, is spotting which of the second set of 3 panels, where I only have to do 1, is the one that's possible. So, certainly the first set of 3, that's just the black and the white squares, I can tell that if there's a checkerboard pattern of the squares, that's impossible to do. So that's easy to take out. When I've got the 3 different colors, the white, the purple, and the yellow, that's a little trickier. But, and then the other thing that I realized is that the blue and yellow rotational on the 4 panels that are against the stone wall, that the one that I start on is blue, so I'm always controlling blue, and so I have to figure out if I start in the wrong place, then it's not possible with the it could be impossible to do from that starting. Alright, well, a lot has been learned. I am a little over my hour, so I am going to call it a day. It's a day, haha. And yeah, we will return to this next time. If you have enjoyed what you have seen, then I would appreciate a like. And you can follow for more by clicking subscribe. And I would love to hear your comments. No spoilers, please. I'm looking forward to next time. Be seeing you.